Here. Take this off.
Just take the tray, the whole tray.
Okay.
All right. I love the.
Anybody in there? What's this? Nobody there?
I don't know.
Not yet.
So we had some technical difficulties.
Nobody there, right?
I don't know, but I'm going to talk anyway. Give us something in the chat if you're here, so we know. Hey, okay. So we had to switch devices. Stuff was not working the way we wanted it to work. So bear with us a second as we reset up our
noise popping on.
Our makeshift studio.
Our backdrop doesn't look as nice as it did on the iPads. Can't use our new little microphones we have for our iPads. Seems like Google, the 1,800-pound gorilla, and YouTube are not very kind to Apple.
Hey, don't say that. They might kick us off.
That's all right. We did a test video yesterday of nothing, and they said some copyrighted material was in it, which was like nothing.
And it was just Kelly eating string cheese.
Always copywritten. So here we go. We'll attempt.
Wait, I gotta get on Facebook. Come on.
Facebook, yeah, Facebook. Another 1,800-pound gorilla in the room.
Facebook.
So what we're going to do is, while Kelly is sort of navigating the internet world, this is a finger picking workshop.
Where did that?
If anybody is a soccer fan of European soccer, we are like the two men in a blazer stuck in this little booth. But
which I don't get that read.
Yeah, obscure references. Have to move this up. Oh, everything's backwards, is it? Or
bear with us for our
so
first.
it's going to be based off of my book, the Finger Picking for Ukulele, Alternating Thumb Style. It's available on the learningukulele.com website. If you're a student of mine or a paid member of the learningukulele.com website, you can download it. You can actually view the entire book for free just by clicking on the little thumbnail and scrolling through and see it, or going and viewing it in a bigger page. You can view the whole thing online for free. So no need to even sign up or download. Well, look at that. Is that one working too? Or?
It will be, yeah.
Yeah, here you go. We're new. No, I'm not new to technology. We aren't, but this whole streaming thing, the special effects. Swipe left. No. All right, so we're going to use a C tuning. Actually, tuning does not matter when you're practicing this. You can even practice it with an out of tune ukulele, but it's good to have it in tune. So G, C, E, A. This is my low G here. It works just as well with high G. Right? So jump back and forth maybe. But finger picking, finger style. All right? Basically playing with your fingers. Thumb, index, middle, polite to show it with other fingers, ring, and your pinky. Now, in the classical guitar world, that literature, they'll use the Portuguese Spanish names, PIMA, meaning thumb, index, middle, ring. So I've even been to workshops of other people presenting finger picking workshops, and the first thing they'll do is they'll teach you the PIMA, and immediately they'll say P, thumb. Well, it's thumb. Let's just use thumb. It's easy. No translation. It's good to know if you're dealing with classical literature and notation, they'll have PIMA written in it. So thumb, index, middle, ring, trim. Thumb, index, middle, ring. Spelt wrong. T-R-I-M. Thumb, index, middle, ring. All right? We're not going to use our pinky. So, 4-string ukulele. So the PIMA technique really quickly is with the 4-fingered approach like classical guitar, each finger is just assigned to their own string. The thumb takes care of string 4, index string 3, middle string 2, and 1 to floor your toes. So from nose to toes, 4, 3, 2, 1. G, C, E, A. Right? But we're going to do this thumb and 2 fingers. In the guitar world, they call it Travis picking, named after Merle Travis, one of the most famous one of the most famous person that used it. Chet Atkins, pretty famous player using it. Tommy Emmanuel, a lot of people use it. It's called Travis picking. In the banjo world, it's named after Earl Scruggs. He became really famous for it, elevating the technique to a really high level. So the ukulele does not have a famous person to use it. So if you get really famous, maybe they'll name it after you. I see Jackie on there. Maybe they'll name it Jackie Picking or Betsy Picking or Brad. Hi, everybody. So again, so I hope we're in the quarantine. We're in our home studio where we pushed everything aside in the living room. So the alternating thumb style uses the thumb and the two fingers. All right. So the little handouts, if you download them online, they have this book is 102 pages, so there's a lot in here. And I'm pretty thorough when I go through all this stuff. All right. So let's get started though. So we'll sidetrack. It does have all the terms in there. You can download the PDF and look at it. I'll make this PDF available. It also talks about the string sets, the notation I use, which is sort of just standard notation. All right. So technique-wise, that's the hardest part about all this stuff is developing the thumb independence. So our thumb is going to be assigned to strings 4 and 3. Our index will take care of string 2, and our middle finger will take care of string 1. All right, so I'm going to grab the high G ukulele just to show you I have a fluke. And it's not a fluke, I have a fluke. So position your thumb. You want to do this. Just take your hand and do like you're doing like a cast something. Put your thumb over top of your first finger, sort of like rub it back and forth like this. Like, give me the money. Show me the money.
Right.
All right. So, what's that?
I can't see the comments on here.
Now, Kelly's on the other computer. She's attempting a hostile takeover of our local bank, I think.
I'm trying to chat with you guys, and I can't get the comments on my iPad.
All right, so let's do this. Let's take our thumb and put it on string 3 and our index finger right under string 2. And your thumb will be right behind your thumb a little bit. If you were to just rub them together, if you put your thumb on string 3 and you plucked string 2, your finger will just brush lightly right behind. You want to have, I call it, my guy, the fellow I study with, Chuck Anderson, he called it quiet hands as far as techniques. You just don't want to do a lot. Just do the minimum amount of work to efficiently get the music out. So there, it'll just rub right behind. If I pluck my thumb, I'm going to use what they call a rest stroke. I'm just picking straight across the string and coming out slightly so I don't hit the next string. I'm just brushing lightly against my first finger.
Devin said it muted. Did we mute? Can you hear us?
Can you hear us?
Oh, Devin.
Never mind. Devin, please. I did post a strumming video on the mustard strum.
Mustard.
And then somebody said it's muted. I had misspelled it.
Kurt's famous for his typos.
Yeah, I do. I call it like the jazz improv fingers on the typewriter. So now let's do this. Keep your index finger under string 2 and your middle finger under string 1. And just put your thumb on string 4, pluck string 4, then pluck string 3. Oh, Kelly's out of tune. Tune up, please, tune up. Just go back and forth. This was low. I tuned up earlier. It came in tuned from the factory. Now, as a musician, you'll find rarely do you have to count past 4. So, the most common number of beats in a measure of music is 4. So we just have to count to 4 evenly. If you ever run across somebody that says they don't have rhythm, just ask them to count to 4. Inevitably, they will say 1, 2, 3, 4. Unless you happen to be asking Christopher Walken, he might say 1, 2, 3, 4 actors. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can put a metronome on if you want. Put it at about 60. Just do it super slow. Get a good sound. Do 4, 3. Now sometimes, because our fingers, they cannot hear or see a thing. So they'll need verbal commands to do the right thing. So you might have to say the string numbers. 4, 3, 4, 3. Sing it. Bum, 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 bum. Then do this. Build up. You'll find that you can build this up pretty fast. Drop the computer. Picnic. Problem in chair, not in computer. Read some comments. Curt picking. They won't call it that. Sorry. Audio's good. Thank you. User error. Slow, fast. Now, I have a saying that I say to my students. Inevitably, you can play fast if you have mastered slow, because fast is nothing more than slow quicker. You get to that point like as a kid when you were running downhill. In one brief moment, you were the fastest kid in the neighborhood, maybe the whole planet, and then you crashed and rolled down the hill. Luckily, we did it on grass. Now, once you get this going, keep these parked. We're going to use them later. Grab chords, C. We're not going to be playing those strings, but I would finger it anyway. C, A minor, F, G7.
My iPad fell again?
So just practice with any chord you want. So you can master it. People tend to move on too quickly before they've actually really mastered things. The weakest link in our musical sort of triangle is our ear, our inner musical ear. We've been using that since the time we were born, responded to music, melodies, rhythm. And then our brain can understand the concepts pretty quickly. It's I call them the idiot cousin fingers. They cannot see or hear a thing. They always need guidance. They'll only do what they've been trained to do, and hopefully they'll do it at the right time. And as you get better as a musician playing the ukulele or any instrument, your musical thinking gets a lot faster, and you'll be able to do a lot of this stuff quicker.
I just noticed we're wearing the same shirt.
You already look at that. Hey, twins, the funky French shirt. You have the later new version, the good version?
Yeah.
Our first printer wasn't a super great job. So that's the foundation. The foundation is actually pretty easy. Now, slight variation, if you want, is, especially on a high G, you can start on string 3. Do 3, 4, 3, 4. Do the same thing. Now, I did it just then. Be careful. Your thumb, my thumb, likes to follow whatever my fingers are doing.
We gotta move the Facebook. They said they can't see on Facebook as well.
Can't
as
see?
YouTube.
What's that?
Hold on.
All right, Kelly's dealing with the Facebook.
We'll move you.
Moving?
Continue.
On my Facebook over here?
Yeah.
Oh, how you doing? Hey, Curt. How you doing? Good to see you. All right, so start on string 3. 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4. All right, now you have to be careful because I find myself, I still do that, is my thumb likes to follow what a finger if it goes to string 4. So you have to really sort of say it. Like 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4. All right, so that's a variation. It's later on, but you can actually do it now. Now, out of sheer boredom, that can get boring pretty fast, as you would know, to practice that endlessly over and over. So I would think of this as like a bookend. So that's the one bookend, the mastering the alternating thumb. And later on in down the road chapters, we get to use the fingers 2 and 3, 1 and 2. Excuse me, 1 and 2. We're going to do that now, though. So we're going to alternate now, like do the thumb, string 4, index up, string 2, thumb down on string 3, middle up on string 1. So now we want to add and to our counts of 1, 2, 3, 4. So that index and middle will be on the and, the upbeats. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So you're running in place. It's funny at different. Again,
tapped out.
Oh, yeah, Martha. Yeah, you can do it with a chord if you want. But when you're working on right hand technique, you want 100% of your focus to be on that right hand. Otherwise, if you just sort of, it's like kids, you know, if you have a couple of kids and you take your eye off of one of them, no. You know, I had 4 kids growing up. Amy, Kelly, I don't know, and not me.
I don't know.
Yeah. Who did that? I don't know. Not me. And we have somebody else in our house too. We hear them when you go to the bathroom and the door's shut and you knock on the door. Somebody's in here. I have never met them, but sorry, bad jokes. All right, so now you can do just pick the easiest chords. Do C. C7. C, do that. Play the dots. They sound really good. Okay, mixed it up at the end, not on purpose. But ultimately, you'll accept whatever the fingers do. If it comes out rhythmically, it sounds good, you'll do it. Maybe too far from the mic. That one there. We checked it earlier. I'll speak louder. Yeah.
Okay.
Low volume.
How about now?
Is YouTube volume good? Audio's good, huh?
How's Facebook now? Wait, so, can't hear you very well.
Yeah, no,
I
no,
took
no,
the
no,
mic
no.
out. Let's
Oh,
see if that's better.
much better. Okay,
Oh,
we'll leave the mic out.
Fancy mic isn't
I tried to set the field on the mic a little narrow, so maybe it's not picking up stuff. All right, so I'm gonna go. I actually prefer a lot of times to do a low G. I'm gonna do low G.
And you don't suggest, right, trying new chords with new finger
Oh,
picking
definitely
and
don't
new,
try anything new.
and new strums with new chords.
Yeah, right. Just stick with what you already know. C chord.
Is it okay to anchor your
Now that is, yes.
right hand?
Just
Yeah.
put it very lightly. There's two schools of thought: free floating or anchor a little bit. I use it. I liken it akin to if you're trying to write with a pen. Usually you get up close for a lot of control, right? Versus a brush. Even when I strum, I'll do free floating, but then I'll get my pinky back here. I'm just touching it very lightly.
Whatever's most
Not pressing.
comfortable.
You don't want to anchor it. It'll move with your hand, but luckily on ukulele it doesn't have to move much. But my guitar students, they'll anchor it too much and keep it there. So I just do this exercise with them. I tell them, put your hand out here, move it up and down, and notice your fingers have to go with your hand. If you restrict your pinky, it all gets restricted. But just let it lightly brush across the top. What it does is gives you a stability. Because I have a light point of contact here and then back here with my forearm. You can have it out if you want. I just personally prefer the pinky, very light. I got sidetracked. But do simple chords. C.
Oh, that's string order. So that is 4.
Yep, nose to toes. 4, 3, 2, 1.
But the picking order was 4, 2,
4,
3,
2, 3,
1.
1. Now, because of the high G tuning of the ukulele, and later on this is discussed in the lessons in the book, this is more if you did them together. On the low G, that's an ascending pattern, but on high G, it's just sort of anything goes. It's wacky. But just say the numbers. Think of it maybe ascending to the floor. 4. Write the numbers down. 4, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1, 4, 2, 3, 1, 4, 2, 3. We'll just do that pattern. Right? Now we'll add in one thing. Go back to the alternating thumb. Now what I did with my book especially, it is 102 pages on this alternating thumb style. Pretty thorough. Covers alternating rhythm. I think hold on. I have some notes here. You can see just from here's like the outline. It's like 2 pages of the table of contents.
Like weighted out on that.
Yeah, I know it gets weighted. Oh, is that over there?
Yeah, the table.
Yeah, the table of contents is like It surprised me. It was
Intense.
102 pages. But now, so that was just the foundation, the basic. Talks about the string sets, thumb independence, gives you some exercises and tips of how to do this. Let me review those.
Did you go?
What's
If
that?
there's any beginner people, did you go over just practice 1, 2, 3, 4, 1,
What's that?
2, 3, 4?
Yeah, that's a different thing. Really. You can do that. Just getting used to your thumb.
Your spacing of the
Yeah.
strings.
Here's a little story. I was driving home from teaching some music lessons. It's about 40 minutes,
This is not
35 on a
recommended.
good day, 40 minutes away from my home. And it was like in a hurricane, so the main roads were closed. It was going to take me like hurricane. We're in northeast, right? Eastern Pennsylvania. So I had my daughter's car actually, and I had a ukulele with me, of course, and it's laying on the front passenger seat, face down like this. And I never really did the classical style a lot, the PIMA, the thumb, index, middle ring. So what I did was I laid it on the seat, and for the 45 minutes of driving home, I just did this. As I'm driving, of course you don't have to watch it. Now I numbered my fingers in this case of like 1, 2, 3, 4. Your thumb, index. Then I did variations. I did every possible variation for like 45 minutes. Couldn't play any chords, but so if you can isolate your any technique, even for switching chords, do it without strumming it first to make sure the fingers are not flying off of there. You want to quiet fingers, just doing the least amount of work possible to get the music out. Now, so there's, I don't know how many chapters, geez.
Oh, yes, Betsy. You have my sister, right? Betsy has the black one,
Yeah, look at that.
and I just got the purple one. She's so pretty.
I think this book ended up being like 13, 14 chapters worth of material. And banjo rolls. A lot of people with the finger picking will start with that. That didn't show up to like chapter 9 or something. So after you master this foundation, I'm trying to find my notes. Right here. Oh, here you go. After I'm done one of my books, I typically don't have it memorized. So here you go. Exercises and tips. The top news of today, exercises and technique tips. The thumb, with the help of gravity, plays the assigned strings with a downward motion across the strings. That's called a free stroke. You don't want to follow through to the next string. We're doing 2 live streams, Facebook and YouTube. So 2 cameras, well, would have been more, would have been a couple cameras. So, but we're doing the rest, free stroke. Rest, free. Because we want the strings to ring. We don't want, right? So the motion of the index and middle fingers are like a closing motion. If you're closing your fingers into your palm, your wrists should not move away from the strings much. You don't want to do this. This is a good reason to anchor your pinky. You'll stay close to the strings. Otherwise, you might fly around a lot. Just quiet. Don't do a lot of work.
Lazy musicians.
You want to be lazy in the amount of work you do to get the music out. Start with 1 chord and do each pattern until mastered before adding additional chords. Right? Keep your motions small and precise using an efficient and a minimum of motion. And your pinky, I just let it rest lightly. And if you're not using your index and your middle finger on a pattern, just keep them poised, ready to go. Don't be out here. A couple of little things I say to my students all the time is like, keep your fingers pointing to the strings. I'll have some of them, they'll be playing, like say we do a C chord. Now I'm looking, I'll just go, what are you pointing at? Keep on pointing to the strings. Yeah, the pinky does not have to be out.
My pinky always
Yes.
shoots out.
Yeah, remember, these are idiot cousin fingers. They can't see or hear a thing. Given their own devices, they'll just only do what they've done before or go off on their own. Rhythm. Everybody has rhythm, pretty much. Just count evenly. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and bum, 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 and get the sound. If I'm just practicing right hand stuff, I'll just move the chord along with string 1. Play the dots, they sound good.
You were mixing free and rest strokes.
What's that? No mixing of free and rest
She
strokes.
said you are mixing free.
No, I'm not. I'm doing all free strokes. It just looks really close. I'm not coming in contact with any other strings after a stroke. I just keep them close, so it's not like I don't have to be way out here. Remember, efficiency. Once I pluck the string and get it going, I'm done. Anything else past that is like a show, you know, like strumming, like this. If I strum, that's a go. If I strum, sorry, Cal, boom. Yeah, you know, get the go first, then the show later. So that's pretty much the basics.
Do you have any easy songs that you could suggest to play?
What I do is,
Fingerpicking?
here's a good one. To pick a song that you know. I know a lot of songs, but not the words. But I would do like a Red River Valley in G. Like come and ba ba, come and sit by my side if you love me. I don't know any more words. That's okay. One of these days I'm gonna memorize the words, but not today. You know, just do something like that. Just practice the chords to this song. Because you don't want to incorporate trying to sing in pitch. You know, keep it to a minimum of the amount of things you're trying to do when you're learning something new. Because everybody in their musical development, all aspects of your playing and development are not equal. You might be here in one aspect of your playing or development, and here in another aspect. You know, hopefully they all raise equal, you know, as you just get better and better, but you don't want one to get like really this high, or
like your singing is really low.
Yeah, my singing is just really bad, you know. I tell people I sing perfectly in tune all the time. So only when I open my mouth that myth is dispelled. But internally we do sing in tune and pitch. I changed it. Right? So we did these in 4/4. You can apply to 3/4. The count's just 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3. Right there at the end, that last chord didn't quite come out the way I planned, but it was in time. It's the right chord. Accept it. Don't announce any mistakes. If it's a real bad mistake, people will know it anyway.
Your paper shuffling's
I'm
probably
paper
really
shuffling,
loud.
sorry. All right, now, that's like chapter 1 or lesson 1. Those are delay.
Yeah. Don't get distracted.
All right, now, so the way I approach this is from the alternating thumb pattern, we're going to introduce one finger and on one of the beats at a time first. So level 1, I call it. So we're doing the thumb, and we're going to do one finger, and we're going to do one of the beats. So we're going to do the first beat. An index right now is only assigned to string 2. So it's going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and go to A minor. Stay on it. Think of F.
What was that? 4, 2, 3, 2.
Now, the best way to think about this is there's tab, you know, on the downloads. I'll just sort of show you my little graphic representation, but real slow. Moving slow. The top one shows what string and
Yeah, so
what finger.
back.
What's that?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the string,
Yep.
what string is bolded,
Yeah, finger.
and then what the counting
Yep. And
would be, and then what finger, thumb,
right.
index, thumb.
Thumb.
Now showing Facebook.
Now, guaranteed, this will mess up.
So the string, what
Yep.
string,
I bolded the string.
what finger, and you're counting.
Counting, right? Right now, if you can read rhythms and music.
Oh, no, that's on.
This is a really good time to learn to read rhythms.
So what was that again? It was 4, 4, 2.
Yeah, 4, 2, 3,
3,
4, 3, 4. Right now, if you can read rhythms, do one camera first. There you go. The first beat is subdivided. The and of one. The and of one.
And again, we'll have these PDFs
Yeah,
posted
we'll
for
do
you.
it offline. You can see the whole book. You can view the book online, even if you haven't paid for it, or
4,
even if you're not
2.
registered for my learningukulele.com site.
No, they'll send their email to us and we can send it to them.
Right,
You're
I'll
putting
break
out
it
free
out.
stuff too much.
It is free.
That's why we
anyway,
eat ramen noodles every day.
Yeah.
Wait, so we do it 4. Sorry, 4.
Well, you do it like this here. That whole counting, you really want to do this. Think of the sound. I'll play it a couple times for you. I'll do a high G for high Gers.
I'm a visual. I need it written down for the comments.
Yeah, but you want to turn it into sound. Music is sound.
4.
I mean, we look at bands, but we hear it, but our ear, we see it, but our ear really takes it in. Now, one thing you might notice, after I'm done with string 2 and it's rang for like that half a beat or maybe a beat longer, I'll put my finger back on the string and stop it. First is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 4, 2, 3, 4, 3.
4, 2,
Eighth, quarter,
3.
quarter. Now sing it. Bum, 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 bum.
Strings 4.
Now this is what will happen, guaranteed. You'll switch chords and you'll totally mess it up. You'll miss the rhythm, you'll miss the beat, you'll hit the same string twice, you'll do this. Right?
4,
You'll
2,
do the index.
3, 4, 3.
But sing it, get it into your ear. Wah, bum, 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 bum. Now, if you're doing low G and you're young like I am, you'll remember the old NBC TV channel logo. NBC. Hey, I'm a pop singer. I just sneak into my pitch. Bum, bum, bum. 1, 6. Like my Bonnie Boo. So NBC. Bum, bum, bum. Now that I would do a lot of chords with it. We'll do C, G, A minor, F, the famous 4-chord pop chord progression. Now again, we're not playing string 2, but I would just finger that note anyway.
Would
Not,
you C, G,
not
A minor?
try to do C, G, A minor, F. For the numerically astute Nashville numbering system, 1, 5, 6, 4. C, G, C, G. Build the tempo up, try any chord.
I was already lost, so I just picked and didn't do my chords. It takes me very long to get the brain function going with it.
No, the brain part is easy. It's just get
That's
the
why I'm
finger.
here, to support you all.
Just
So
the
my
fingers.
confusion and your confusion
Your
are
ear,
working
like
together.
think about this. The first time you learned the infamous C chord somebody showed you.
Yeah, Betsy,
Oh,
too
it was
fast.
great. C chord, C chord. Then probably the next time you picked up your ukulele, maybe you did this. And you knew right away it was not right. So your ear gets this pretty fast.
Let's do that
And
chord
there's Chris is
progression.
So
Slower.
C.
Slower.
I'll count off, then we'll start. Okay, what did you work? Sorry, evil trick. So 1. We're going to come in on the 1. So 2, 3, 4. Coming up to G. No whoops in music. Never announce your mistakes. When you can have a conversation or sing when you're doing this, it's almost like bass players that can sing like Paul McCartney, Geddy Lee. That absolutely would amaze me because they're playing melodic lines and yet they're singing a completely different line. They really know the one part. So you get this down, walking along. Well, messed up, see? I didn't know what I was going to say.
Not
Don't
talk
worry, you
and
messed
walk.
up, yeah. Try any chord, bar chords. Right, that works. Actually, that simple pattern, only subdividing beat 1 in half, sounds great. Now, let's move it to beat 2. So I'm going to go back to my C chord. I like my C chord. So now you have to be careful because your thumb will want to do beat 1 like they've just been doing for the last couple of minutes. So you have to really focus on the and of 2. 1 and 2 and. So that's 4, 3, 2. And then alternate back 4 and 3. So from your alternation, 4, 3, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. Now you might do this too. You might just say the and only with the 2. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. Remember, the idiot cousin hands, they need all the help they can get. Okay, Fred's just, oh, they've been here the whole time.
No, Tyler just tuned in.
Yeah, hey guys, just tuned in. Thanks. So, alternating thumb style recap.
Recap, rewind.
Get your thumb alternating. We're going to introduce the middle index finger on beat 2. So I'm going to do the same progression: C, G, A minor, F, and just do beat 2. So 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3. A lot of pressure on this side not to mess up.
I know, God.
Everybody's watching, geez.
Oopsie,
No whoops in music. I don't want to hear any whoops. No cursing. Right? It's 2 mistakes if you announce your mistake. All right, so that was beat 2. Now beat 3. So it'd be like 1, 2, 3, and. Remember, we're just doing string 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now again, if you can read music, rhythms, even on another instrument, you will find the notation is actually easier to do this with. And it's almost akin to weeding yourself off of the tab and knowing what the notes are. All right? Trust me, guaranteed it pays off in the long run. I learned to read music when I was about 9 or 10 years old. Totally forgot it in my teen years, just playing like rock and roll bar chords, the Beatles, Herman's, all that stuff. Then in my early 20s, I started studying again, and the first teacher I hooked up with started teaching me jazz, and I had to relearn to read. And at that point, it was, when you relearn to read, then there was the whole darn fingerboard, which was difficult. So we did beat 3. Now we're going to do beat 4, the and of 4. So again, I'm just alternating 4 and 3. Later on, you'll mix it up. There's actually 4 possibilities. You know, doing 4, 2, 3, 1. That's our go-to. Then you could do 3, 2, 4, 1. Now that when you have 2 different patterns, guaranteed you'll mess it up. So you can come up with a verbal command for that new pattern. And I just call it inside. Inside, outside. And if there's an inside, outside of the 3, 2, 4, 1, there's an outside. 4, 1, 3, 2. All right, and then there's a 3, 1, 4, 2. It's in the book later on, a lot down the road. But I would just stick with the 1 pattern first. So now we're up to beat 4. So again, I'll just demo first. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I'm sorry, I did my middle finger. I'll do the index. Here we go. Ready? I got it now. Rewind. Take 489. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 y san su. I can't say yan in Chinese. Sorry, or the Mandarin, right? Oh, Kelly's really floated out the.
Yeah.
See what topics you want to see covered.
I'm making him do all
Be
this
careful,
stuff.
don't go there. Whoa, geez.
By the
come on.
way, people would like more virtual workshops, so you're gonna do them.
Yeah, geez, I like that, right? Yeah.
I didn't
I'm
ask
a
him
wealth
first.
of useless musical knowledge, and I'm willing to pass it on. I've studied seriously for like 30 years with the same guy. So either he knew a heck of a lot or I was really slow. No, but I do have more knowledge than is deemed necessary. But guaranteed, the better you get, the better people you play with, the more fun you're going to have. Guaranteed. So,
Oh, D's
so
on.
now here's what you do.
Hi, D.
You mix it up. You got 4 patterns. Do pattern 1 on the first chord, pattern 2 on the second, pattern 3 on the third, and pattern 4 on the fourth. Let's see if we can go for it.
Wait, what was
He's
pattern
on the
one?
high dive.
Wait,
I'm gonna
review.
do. I'm
Pattern
gonna do.
one.
Yeah,
was
I'm gonna do beat 1 on the first chord, beat 2 on the second, beat 3, beat 4. All right, I did it. Woo, success. I think I did it. I did do it, right?
We
But
can
like-
rewind and find out later.
No, I wasn't counting at all because when you get going pretty quick, I'll count out loud, and I'm really just going to count out loud 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. But internally, my musical ears pretty much ignoring that. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Whoops! See, I almost went to the wrong chord. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 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 So, you know, I don't know if I was synced, but do it slow. The counting is to learn the sound. Then slowly, the count becomes internalized, and you won't realize you were not counting until the situation where you realize I should have been counting. Then you'll know. Everybody will know. So beat 1, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I wasn't too fast, Betsy.
Well, for us just learning to play along.
You do it slow. I did all this stuff slow.
So the good thing about this video is you can go back,
Yeah,
write
slow it
everything
if you
down,
want, yeah.
or wait for our PDFs that we email you, and then you can use the video to play along then.
Yeah. Remember, YouTube also has, when you're trying to learn songs on the YouTube, they have the slow down feature where it doesn't change the pitch. Digitally, they keep the pitches the same, and you can slow it down to like 25%. So the words are slow though. So do it slow now.
Oh, Betsy has your book.
2.
It's a new book. Thank you, Betsy.
I'm thinking beat 3 now. Beat 4. All right, then mix them up. Oops, sorry. Ultimately, you won't be really thinking of which pattern I want to do. You're drawing from your vocabulary. Just like when you're talking, having a conversation with somebody. Most times people are not really thinking of what they should be saying. Sometimes they should, but you're not really thinking of every little word you're going to say. It's the train of thought. Same thing musically. I'm thinking I'm going to. So I'll play that chord progression now. I'll do it slow, but I'm just going to mix in all the concepts that are going to be in there without strumming.
Wait, what's it?
What's that?
So on the and is when
You play
play.
string 2 up, the and. So you don't want the thumb playing on
the index finger, right? Not the
yeah,
middle
index
finger.
hand. Yep, middle finger we didn't even do yet.
And which
That'll be later on.
beat gets?
Now that's a good question though. You can though, because
Say the question for everybody.
here's the question is, man, I bought this ukulele and it was string 4 and I haven't gotten to use it yet. Can I use it? Sure. You're only doing a thumb and 1 finger. You're doing 3 strings, so you could move it to these 3 strings and alternate your thumb. Do that. You can take all the patterns and just do these 3 strings. All right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot to do. This is hours and hours of fun. And luckily, too, it's frustrating instruments sometimes. Uncle Bill's online there watching. So this is hours and hours of fun and frustration. But luckily, when you're doing music, you forget about absolutely everything else you're doing, which is really good. All right, so I'm just going to mix up all the patterns. I'm going to play C, G, A minor, and F. Now, somebody could be strumming. Kelly, strum these C, G, on the spot. A minor and the F. Ready? You strum it loud. Go ahead.
You said A minor F. You didn't tell me to go to G.
C, G. So somebody could be strumming. Strum down and up. Ready? Down and up.
Down and up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, do the meet up strum.
Okay.
Ready? 2,
Oh, I'm nervous.
2, 3, 4.
No, that's the meet up strum. Right?
Yeah. Ready?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Gosh, we didn't rehearse this.
Yeah. Never try to teach your kids.
Thank you, Betsy.
So ready? 1, 2, 3, and 4, and.
Oh, gee, sorry.
It'll work too. It works better at faster tempo. All right, so you can mix them up.
Oh, Glenn is on too.
Uncle Glenn is there. Yep. From Virginia, DC. Everybody is quarantined. Is everybody social distancing? We are. Where is it?
Oh God, we've been together.
6 feet. Jeez, we should have.
Yeah.
6 feet.
Yeah, Bill. So the book is Curt's newest book.
Yep.
As Betsy said, the Fingerpicking ukulele
Yes.
alternate
For people that
thumb
just jumped
style.
in. Yeah, right. I've written. Some people say I'm probably one of the most prolific authors of ukulele books in this solar
For-
system.
Yeah, educational use.
Yeah.
And now let the Facebook
There
world
you
see.
go, right? Luckily, I think it's like I had somebody from Hong Kong email me and wanted to buy all 37 of my ukulele books. I thought to myself, oh my God, I have 37. I guess, all right. Sold them all 37 PDFs. Gave them a good deal. The reason some of it is the different tunings, the G tuning, the C tuning. That could be 2 books, but I have lots of books. I was when I learned, I would always run home after my lesson and rewrite the stuff or do little graphics and drawings. My background is graphic arts.
That's how I learned stuff from Curt, but it doesn't make sense.
Julie
And
has a
then
question.
I learned from other people at festivals. It still doesn't make
Yeah.
sense. And then if I see it visually, then it's like, oh,
Yeah.
that's what all those professional ukulele players were talking about. Now I get it.
Somebody mentioned the 4-finger style. The alternating thumb style is like, here's a song. I took Herb Albert and Tijuana Brass, Tijuana Taxi, and it's basically in the key of F. C. I wanted to do an intro because there's no intro, so I wanted to get like this bass, like a bass player would play, like that. So I wanted to incorporate it. So I want to get that bass, boom, bomb, boom, bomb. So this alternating thumb is really for that, get that. It's more of a strumming style, a lot of it. The 4-finger one is more the classical one. And you can do the same rhythmic patterns, you know. You can still use a 4-finger one, but the alternating thumb is a particular style, especially if you have a low G. So we get that bass line going. So there, I just did, I think I did C to G. I did G to C. So I did start with my G, low G on my low G here. When I went to C, I wanted to C bass note. So I started on my low C. So it gives me like a bass note, pseudo bass notes.
Yeah, it's really good to know options. One thing you told me when I first started learning the finger picking was try to watch a TV show and retain what the show was saying.
While you're playing, I said that?
Yeah, you did tell me that.
Oh, that's quite profound.
So he said, well, put a TV show on, try to take in what the show is doing while still doing your finger picking pattern. And you don't have to do chords. You can have it, you can mute your strings.
Yeah, conversation. Yeah, if you can have a conversation while you're doing these, it's starting to become internalized.
Which it took me like, 2 years to get the thumb index, thumb middle just small.
Play during the commercials. This does take a long time to get. You're just not going to like one time. The understanding is the easy part. Just getting the fingers to do it, that is the really hard part.
And then throw in chords and
drums
singing.
too.
My brain is fried.
C1 and 2 and G. Yep, you got it. Yeah.
Yep, Betty. Yep, that's right.
Yep, BJ.
That's Betty.
Nice.
Her secret YouTube name.
BJ Casey.
Yeah.
Anonymous. Like everybody's using their real names here, Oh,
Motor
so,
memory.
baby.
Motor memory, yes.
Hey, is anybody here in the witness protection program?
Oh, good, Betsy.
Heidi Fisher's watching.
It is hard to make sense of like ink and paper sometimes.
Heidi. Do you have a ukulele?
Oh, Heidi Fisher. Miss you too.
Yep.
Heidi's kids took lessons when Allie was a baby.
Betty is famous now.
Yeah.
My dad told me when I was learning to play guitar, he says, I never ever heard you finish a song when you're growing up. I had to wait till you played in public before you ever finished a song. So pretty much working on songs, I'll just doodle. Lyle Ritz called it the fruit of the noodle. Just sitting around playing, just. Now you can, these fingers, all kinds of things, It does work with a pick too. If you wanted to use a pick, thumb pick, I don't have one here.
I've become accustomed to noodling where it's like the elevator music of my daily life. I don't even hear it.
Say I take this little plectrum. You can actually switch to these two fingers.
So plunky.
I'm muting on purpose. Muting. Sounds like a mutant turtle. Muting on purpose.
So now we're muting, picking,
palm muting.
chords, talking.
That is really the essence of what they do. A lot of that on the Travis picking is on the guitar, the low strings 5 and 6, which is really bass note land. They will mute those two low strings and get the melody and chords to pop out. So you could do that here too. Palm mute. You still do it this way too. It's a little easier if you did a pick.
Muting on your left hand?
Yeah.
Or your right hand?
Right hand I'm muting. I'm taking my palm and placing it. Just do this first. Place it over top of right behind the saddle. Get a good clean note, and then slowly move it up until you kill those notes.
I don't think I'm doing that.
Still, it really changes your technique on this end though. So you want to stay right behind that thumb. Your thumb should not be behind your index finger. It's like this. If you took your ukulele and just sort of like try to hold it up by the strings with your forearm
Which we
back
don't
here.
suggest.
Yeah, it's not a good idea. It'll fall. I'll take my cheap coat out. Whoa, never mind. 55 minutes we've been at it. Oh my God.
Didn't feel like that long.
I know. Anne's watching. Yeah, purple uke. Nice. Show them your uke.
Oh yes, this is my new uke.
Purple.
Lana Kai.
Yeah, look at that. It has the.
Kurt's not allowed to say the name of the brand because he always butchers it.
Yeah, I'm glad my Hawaiian's really not that good.
Lana Kai. Oh, I guess you didn't hear the beauty of the sound earlier. Curt had to find it.
Now, you can experiment. You can jump around. It's like I heard nowadays they don't even teach the alphabet in order.
Thanks, Bill.
Right? You can pinch 2 strings, right? Just experiment. You'll actually hit what's in the book. But the book and the lessons, they will be sort of sequential.
And none of Kurt's books can be mastered in any short time.
Yeah, I gotta look stuff up in my
Because
book.
there's so much info, especially like the blues
It should
chord
take you-
progression one could be like
Yeah.
forever and ever.
It should take you as long as it took me to write the book to go
You're
through.
welcome, Rita.
It took me a while, Rita. Is this good, everybody? Where's those
any-
places where they can throw up the little hearts and all that stuff?
That's Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man.
Well, Kelly, when she did post it, I didn't
show
tell her.
Kurt how you can
Food book.
put
food book.
a heart, a leg.
Kathy, there, she's one of my members. If you really want to take advantage of my knowledge and sort of tap into it,
Oh, there it is. There you go.
and you want to be like a
Thanks, guys.
student, nice. Look at that, nice. The iOS that, yeah.
Our heart's
Hearts,
going.
nice. I do have. I'm not a big fan of subscriptions. I finally weaned myself off of Adobe products. My background, I'm a graphic artist, and I do all the artwork for my books. I went to like a 2-year matchbook art school, graphic arts, and for years I started out on Aldus PageMaker, switched the art department I was working in to Quark Express, and then did Adobe InDesign, and then Adobe went subscription, and oh my God, I hated paying for that. I would pay months for it and never even use their products. So finally now I'm off of Adobe products. I'm using Affinity.
What's your point here?
I forget, subscriptions. Yeah.
Oh,
On the website. On my website, you can, if you want, you sign up as a free member, and you get quite a lot of stuff for free. Well, too much sometimes, but the stuff is free is sort of like my spinning of stuff that's available pretty much anywhere. But you can also do a monthly subscription if you like for $9, and you can download all my books, the play along tracks, all kinds of stuff. Or you can pay a discount for a whole year, or you can just get it done once and pay a one-time fee and be a lifetime member. Probably my lifetime. But websites live a long past our, our time on this spinning rock hurling through space.
Yeah.
So that is a forever membership, and you'll jump the queue for questions, and you basically become one of my students, and you can like query me for lessons.
If you are a real life student of yours, right? They get the login for that thing. Right?
Some of them have actually done it for everything too, so I appreciate that, especially.
Yeah, I just found out I've had Amazon Prime for a year, and up in March, and I haven't used it.
Yeah, Amazon will not
Sucks.
you can't call Amazon and say, "Oh, I forgot I had the Prime."
Oh, on his
go to the
website,
website,
learningukulele.com.
Learningukulele.com. I also have another domain name. I didn't really put it up yet. It's a good one, ukulele.world.
What? Don't confuse them.
Yeah, learningukulele.com. You'll see it. Let me see. I figured there's 670 some lessons online, over 100 songs. I started just one series, a chord a day for every day of the year in 2013. And just this year, I put videos up for every single chord. I did like 90 videos over the course of the last 3 months. So there's like 100 videos up there. More and more coming now, especially
Burns running in from the living room to tell us if we're not responding to anyone's comments.
Oh, she's online too? Oh yeah.
Yeah, if I couldn't keep up with the YouTube.
You're being
comments.
like triple teamed by the funky
It's
frets
a
crew
lot.
here.
Like
yeah,
Dee,
there's
I
a
don't know
lot.
if Dee's still on. She had her girlfriend
Yeah.
doing video production, keeping up with comments when she was doing live streams.
Yeah, you need one person doing this by herself would be nuts.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of lessons. There's play-along tracks. You only get those if you remember. Because there are one-of-a-kind play-along tracks I recorded with Chuck Anderson probably like 10, 15 years ago. I had a couple of people use them to do gigs with. That was my original intention, to go out and play against these backing tracks. And this is before iPods. And so I had a DAT machine with 3 DATs I could take out. Then I take a PA system, my guitar, an amp, a backup guitar. Then I thought to myself, wait a second, I'm like a whole band lugging this stuff around. So I gave up on that. But I put the tracks up online with the lead sheets. There's a lot up there. Plus I have listings for every major festival in the world, ukulele clubs. Luthiers, yeah. I'm a digital pack rat. If there's a hoarder for digits and bytes, I have it on my website. But I use it as a vehicle to learn how to program it and do all that stuff. I do this technique a lot with strumming. I'll just switch.
Is the answer to learning to play by ear. It's definitely helpful, so you know.
Oh yeah, learning by ear.
Right.
You don't want to learn by ear.
But it
That's fraught with error. You want to play by ear.
And it reaffirms what you're doing.
Play by ear is like really.
It's like if you always play with an out-of-tune instrument, you'll never know what
Every
you
time I
should be
tried
doing.
to play by ear, I got my ear stuck between strings 3 and 4. It is like really, really hard. I mean, I can't figure it out. I don't know how people do it.
I think it's probably time to tune off now. Kurt's playing his ear.
No, yeah, I have a whole thing on my website about playing by ear. I mean, you do want to play by ear, but learning by ear, you want to have a plan, a system that's fraught with error.
The jokes are free.
It's hot and peck.
So people I know there's people out there that might not really know us, and then people always get confused. But I call him Curt in Funky Frets world, but he is my father, just so everyone knows.
Yeah, when we go to
Lots of
festivals,
confused.
sometimes they think Kelly's like my wife.
They're like, oh, where's your husband? I'm like, what? One guy once said, oh, how'd you get such a pretty girl to carry your equipment everywhere? And he's like, oh, that's my daughter. Thank you very much. I was like, okay, yeah, compliment, thank you.
So we'll do some more of these, especially on this finger picking one, and we'll probably do a couple chapters each workshop. But all week is work on it. Like if you were taking lessons, this would be the kind of stuff you'd get, and you come back next week, and hopefully you would have done it. We tweak it and move on. Right? If not, I don't yell at anybody, nothing like that. Private lessons and my help online stuff is like go at your own pace. It's not a group lesson or nothing.
All right.
There's a lot of stuff there.
Yeah.
So everybody got any last final questions?
Oh, you poor thing.
Okay.
I know. Thank you, Kathy. So, yeah. Is that it?
Now, I could do my one last bad joke, though. Somebody asked about like what fingers you can use, and I always say you can use any finger you want as long as it's yours. But there is efficiency in getting this done.
You're welcome.
And low maintenance. You want to be able to go for things and have a high level of confidence that you're going to be able to do it.
Oh, cool. So if you want, thank you, Marion. Yeah, our festival in October.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's still on so far. Tickets
so far it's
early
still
birds
on.
are on sale.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Sorry to everybody that's had to cancel their festivals for the spring.
Yeah,
Our hearts go out to you and all attendees that are missing those festivals. Sorry.
Yeah, some artists have canceled. I know Jim DeVille, who's coming to our October one, has said he has canceled into the summer. And for artists, a good way to support artists, because they can't tour. Some of them, they make their livelihood from touring and playing and selling CDs. You can buy their CDs and stuff. Support them by, buying their music
Directly
stuff.
on their website.
Yeah, you already have it. What the heck?
Yeah.
Buy it again. Some of them are doing lessons online. Like I know Little Rev's doing lessons.
Little Rev is doing, yeah.
Yeah, a bunch of people. Everybody's jumping on the bandwagon.
Well,
but
Christopher Davis Shannon, he's had a Patreon site for quite a long time now.
my Patreon site is not a Patreon site. It's just sign up for learningukulele.com or buy some ukuleles from Funky Frets or take lessons.
Yes, and Betsy commented, if you have Zoom, which is really easy to download, we're thinking about doing that for maybe some virtual open mic nights.
Yeah, but they have a limit to free ones.
100 people.
They cut you off at 40 minutes also.
Oh, well,
which
fine.
is really good for some meetings. People said they love it.
Yeah, you're playing with your ear would have been cut off by now.
Yeah.
So that would be perfect. But Philadelphia Mainline Ukulele Group is doing a Zoom jam. Betsy, how do they get the meeting info?
Go on their website.
So what is the homework assignment? Oh, redo all your patterns until
Yeah, master your patterns on all the chords that you already know.
By second nature.
Yep.
See
Annoy
you
your
in
family and
October.
friends with just playing these patterns.
Oh, Zoom has waived the 40-minute cap for now. That's awesome.
Nice.
Cool.
Now, Zoom does this, though. If you're into privacy on the web and stuff like that, Zoom does send your email and information to like Facebook.
Yeah, who cares? That's all right.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Yeah, Mim has stuff listed on our website.
Yeah, Mim.
Sends out a teacher thing, too.
Yeah, Mim has a teacher site on her thing. She just started during all this. That's awesome.
My site has a section on musicians and teachers and luthiers and buildings.
Yeah, Mim will be back in October
Yep.
to Bend this year. She's been great. She's actually, when she reaches her cap during all this, she's posted our store to help us out while we're shut down, which is great. Cool. I like just reading the comments. I'm like the virtual emoji making faces at Curt while he's like. All right. We'll let you guys know when we schedule our next one. Have a good day.
Devin's
Stay
still
safe.
watching. Jeez.
No, he jumped back on. I think he left us. Bye. Oh, it's not a touch screen.
Yeah. And scream. Ah!